Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution again. So today, as part of this video, we're going to see another Azure DevOps and Terraform. So the scenario based the video, scenario based pipeline creation. This is creating a new Terraform pipeline from Azure DevOps. Okay, so in the previous videos we have already seen so what is Terraform pipelines and so how to install Terraform on DevOps agent. And so today in this video, we're going to deploy one simple Terraform pipeline using Azure DevOps. Okay, so we're going to see how are we going to um, you know provision that one. So now, as you can see here, I'm in my repositories. I'm in my repositories. I can go into my repositories. I have a pipeline.yaml script, and then I have a main.yaml. Okay, main.tf file. This is the Terraform script. I just added some kind of a very basic Terraform block, and then I've added Azure RM, which is Azure RM, which is the Azure provider. Okay, so then I've created some kind of example pipeline, example resources using the pipeline, right? So now, if you can see the pipeline.yaml, okay, let's go over this one. Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, so now as you can see here, for now, I'm going to be adding like this. Okay, so yeah, now as you can see, I'm going to go over it. So the trigger is going to be main. So the main branch I'm going to triggering, and then the pool, the agent pool is going to be cloud institution agent pool. Okay, so if you can click on this one and let's go back and see what the agent pool is going to be. So here the agent pool which I'm going to run is that the agent pool. Okay, so that's the job is keep on running. Okay, now okay, so it's already been triggering. Okay, so now why it's been triggering is that we have mentioned that already been trigger is main. Okay, so now what we can also do is that trigger is none. Okay, so that it won't trigger it automatically. All right, so now what are we going to do is that we're going to give a pool name is going to be cloud institution agent pool. All right, so this is the agent pool which is going to be working. So as you can see here, the agent pool name is going to be cloud institution agent pool, right? So next we're going to be adding a jobs. Okay, so job is going to be so manage terraform tf state file. Okay, so display name terraform tf state file. Okay, so then I'm just giving some kind of a very basic tasks, okay, which is terraform cli underscore one. So we have discussed this, so what is the terraform cli work underscore one? Okay, if you can go and check in the Google, then is the this has been used for Azure pipeline from pipeline terraform task. Okay, so we have already seen this one before, right? So what happens is that so if you wanted to see that whether this extension has been installed or not, we'll go back and see the browse marketplace, or we can go and check the extensions. We already recorded this video on extensions, right? We can go back and see whether this Azure pipeline task terraform task the extension is installed or not. Okay, it has already been installed. So I'm going to be seeing the terraform cli underscore one. Okay, now next what we're going to see is that we're going to be seeing that terraform cli underscore one with the terraform init. Okay, so here what are we going to do is that so here the configuration is going to be terraform init. So terraform excuse me, so the command is going to be using is terraform init with the terraform cli terraform init and the service connection arn. Okay, so excuse me, so we're going to see that how backend service arn is going to be service connection name. Okay, so where to check it? We go to service connections. So let's click on Azure service connection. Okay, so this is service connection which has already been there. Okay guys, click on this one. If I click on this one, you can see that Azure service connection has already been configured. All right, okay, now let's go back to backend type is Azure RM. Okay, so we'll be giving Azure RM is the backend, so which means that storage account has to be provisioned before. Okay, so we have seen that so we have seen that one of the storage account has already been provisioned for this purpose. The storage account is going to be so provider storage accounts. Okay, so the backend resource group name is going to be provider, and then so then we are going to be creating the storage account is going to be provider storage accounts. Okay, so these are the prerequisites which you have to be creating. Okay, so go back to storage account. Okay, so let's go back to the storage account. Okay, the storage account, and let's create a storage accounts. Okay, so create a new storage account. New resource group is called the provider. Backend Azure resource group name provider. Create new is going to be provider, and click on it, and then the storage account is going to be provider storage account. This can be this one. Okay, USCs, it doesn't matter. Okay, then let's review and create. So now what we have done is that we have configured the storage account for the backend. All right, so then it will be creating, just create it, and then what you have to do is that we have to create a container name. So once this one is provisioned, we have to be creating with a container name called tf state. All right, okay, so now let's go back and see. Okay, so this one is still provisioning. Okay, it may take a while. Okay, let me just refresh it and see if it is done or not. Okay, so once it is done, let's go back and create the terraform tf state. Okay, so the backend Azure key is nothing but the state file that is going to be creating. Okay, this the state file that will be creating as part of this backend is going to be terraform.tf state. Okay, so this file will be created automatically. Okay, now let's go back and see the go to resources. All right, so the storage account is got created, and go to data storage, and then click on containers. So create a container, then the name of the container is going to be tf state. All right, so what happens is that so whenever you are creating this configuration, it should be created with the terraform.tf state. So terraform tf state is going to be, and we'll be creating a key called terraform.tf state key. Okay, next as per the next process is going to be terraform underscore one, and then terraform validate. Okay, so at the rate one, then the terraform validation, then it's going to be doing terraform plan. Okay, so the terraform plan is going to be using the service connection, and is give the terraform plan, and then it's going to be do a terraform apply. Okay, so terraform apply again is be using with the service connection and the provider and then storage account, all these things is going to be storing the state file in the background. Okay, so this is what something like simple pipeline script. So how are we going to run this particular pipeline? Okay, so let's go back to the pipelines. Okay, so I'm going to create a new pipeline, but the test pipeline is already created. I'm going to show you. Okay, so the output, what has been already generated. Okay, so this is the pipeline. This is the pipeline script which has already been created with the apply configuration. As you can see here, the resource group name is being created by Terraform plan and apply. Okay, so this is what something which will be creating. So how to execute this one for now? So click on settings. Sorry, click on okay, click on pipelines, go to pipelines, click on pipelines. So we have already seen like how to create a new pipeline in your previous classes. Okay, so click on new pipeline. Okay, so click on Azure. Okay, Azure GitHub repository. Click on test. So click on existing Azure pipeline, and then main.yaml. Click on this one, and you can see the pipeline.yaml script. Okay, so this is a pipeline.yaml script, right? So this is a script, and then you can click on continue. So it will be showing you all the steps. Okay, let's go with the run. So basically what's going to be happening is that it will create a pipeline for us. Okay, so this was something which is going to be creating. Okay, so it takes some time for us to go through all the steps to be running. Okay, but meanwhile I'm going to be showing you some of the tests which is already been executed. Okay, so whenever we are executing this one, so we'll be showing the Terraform plan with with the output like this, and then terraform apply with the output like this. Okay, so this is how we'll be running this pipeline, and then you'll be this configuration. Okay, so and the main.tf file will explain that what resource is going to be creating is going to be resource group with the example Okay, example, resource group name. So let's go back and see our home, the portal. Click on resource groups. Okay, we can also already see that the example is already been created with our previous run. All right, so that's it about this particular video, guys, on the Azure DevOps portal. Okay, so thank you so much for watching on this video. So hope you understand this particular video on how to create a pipelines on Terraform, how to provision the Terraform scripts, a simple script, and how to create a pipeline and how to run it. Okay, so that's it about this video, and just please stay tuned for the rest of the videos on this series, and see you again in the next video with a new topic. Okay, thank you, guys.